Alan know more than ever today how important the first goal might be in a football match. Often you think a goal, yeah, it's important, but we can get back in it. But when you look at the qualities defensively of both teams on show today, there's a little bit of fear of losing that first goal, I feel, in the opening part of this match.
And in recent years, the side that has scored the first goal, of course, has won the cup. Delaney. He's just leaving a calling card on Boateng. Right, Harry to sweep it in. Comes for Merson! Well, very few players would have the vision to attempt that. Very few would have the technique, but Paul Merson had both.
Well, this is Villa's best chance. The first ball in, really. Before that was a tester. Ian Dublin was just about to pull the trigger. They got a great defensive header, LaBeouf, and well, that's the measure of Merson. Outside of the right foot, great technique. But Georges Boateng is down and Dennis Wise is booked. He took his time, Graham Poll, over this decision. He had time to think as the move developed and even more time after it. But it's from behind, it's late. I don't think Dennis can have any arguments about that.
Amongst his red cards is one against Aston Villa in a cup tie. A League Cup tie last season. Graham Poll, like players, can have good days and those not so good, but he is a very good manager of players in his role as referee. To match them quick for quick. That takes a bit of doing. Dublin's touch, and Carboni flagged offside. So what's going to become of him? And he's not signed for Villa. The negotiations go on. Talk about excessive pay demands.
I don't know. I know that John Gregory would love him to stay, Martin. I think I could tell all Villa fans that. But I also know that John would be less than anxious to bust a pay structure that keeps an awful lot of other internationals in his squad very happy and very contented.
Merson down. No whistle from Graham Poll. Interception though by Delaney. Wise. Taylor. Aston Villa through and through. In the end, the cleverness of the footwork from Weah brought the free kick to Chelsea. They took quickly. Remember, they got a goal in the semi-final from restarting the game at Newcastle's expense. And almost that same part of the pitch. Melchior. Oh, comes out and he's made a... I was going to say a mess of it, but it's only a mess, I guess, if Chelsea knock it into the net. But it wasn't too pretty from a goalkeeper who's definitely a much more mature man this season.
Well, whether this is so easy, whether Hugo Ekiel just gets in his way, a little combination of both. But Chelsea, no one around, no one really reacting. I actually think Chelsea are playing the type of game that suits Villa down to the ground. Graham Lasso and I were talking earlier, and he felt that he wanted to see Chelsea build it up slowly and pass the ball about in midfield. I think that type of game suits Villa. I think Villa can then get the back five in they want in order to get the two midfield players back in. And I think the slower that Chelsea are in their build-up, with the lack of variation that there are, the more it suits Aston Villa.
Goes into Zola's feet in midfield. Melchior for Wise. He had a look for a forward pass, didn't see one that was on.
Well, they've got round the back once in this match. That was when Zola got wide, took on Alan Wright, and it produced basically their only shot on goal. And it's close again, playing right on the shoulder, George Weah. But that type of ball, I don't think you should play all the time, but what I think Chelsea need to do is vary the play a bit more. Because Villa at the moment can push that high up the pitch, up till that pass, confident that it wasn't going over the top.
Headed down by Dublin. Wise. Chelsea can play it a bit quicker that time, but they didn't play it with any great accuracy. They've now switched Di Matteo to the right and Poyet to the left.
I wondered how long that would last. was obviously a game plan that was designed for a certain amount of time, dependent on the success it got.
Deschamps forced his way back into the team in the last couple of games for Chelsea. It looked as though Jody Morris was ahead of him. Jody Morris amongst the substitutes. Ray Wilkins, of course, has taken on more seniority on the coaching. Graham Rix hasn't been well, but he is here today. Poyet pressing and hustling Ugo Ehiogu. And it is a corner. Ehiogu thought there might have been a case for a free kick to Villa, though.
A little nudge, but the referee thought nothing of it.
So half an hour gone. Corner for Chelsea.
Hold on, Ian Taylor's really all over Gus Poyet. He's telling him about stop pulling the shirt. It's a measure of the threat they feel Poyet is.
No. And you know what Taylor's job in this circumstance is to stop Poyet adding to his tally of FA Cup goals. David James takes that one, clean as a whistle. Gets rid of it quickly.
He almost hit somebody with it, just took a little deflection just as it left his boot mark. But only a little one.
By Carbone. Chelsea, who probably thought they would have a bit of time and Villa would be outnumbered in the Chelsea half. So quickly did the ball come from the goalkeeper. And here's Wright. Player cam for Sky Digital viewers on channel 404 switches to George Boateng. And that's the choice of Andy Townsend.
Again, this has typified the match, Martin, and I think it's been played at quite a, not a slow pace, but there's no great urgency anywhere on the football pitch at the moment. No great tempo in the game.
Leboeuf. Solid header by Ehiogu. Chelsea start from deep again. Something of a chess match cup final so far. Melchiot. Now Di Matteo. Plenty of help.
And that was a chance. It wasn't a difficult ball to play it outside of Delaney.
Deschamps gets away with not even a ticking off as he bowls over Boateng.
Boateng knocks it away and just... It's a late tackle. I don't think he makes much contact, but certainly no one would have been surprised had a yellow card been produced.
Right. And history's on Aston Villa's side. 7 previous contests between the two. Chelsea have only won once. But on current form and stature, so the bookmakers say they make Chelsea odds on to win today. Villa have only one win in the 9 most recent matches between these two clubs. Deschamps. Delaney's header away. Merson. Deschamps making sure that he couldn't move away with a sense of menace.
I'm just saying, as Baba Yara comes across the pitch, there's absolutely nothing wide of where he is right now. The only ball he has is Melchior, and the only ball he has is to go back infield yet again.
Stand forward by Desailly. Wasn't the worst ball in the end. Wright did well. Helped by Barry.
All that passage of passing there, the ball that troubled him most was the rush ball played over the top of Alan Wright. He only just got there.
Chelsea rotate in midfield again. Poyet. Straight ball for Zola, and David James has come out to sweep up.
That's a shot.
Well, that would be a Wembley first.
good run from Gianfranco Zola. In behind, over the top.
And direct ball from Frank Leboeuf. James is there again by the more orthodox manner this time. Comfortable in throwing it out to Barry. Carboni. And he's furious with the referee. He dismisses the protest and concentrates on what's happening here with Zola. And he thought he might have had a free kick. Merson. Carboni to the left. The only ball on really for Paul Merson, who wants it back from Carboni. Desai is there. Deschamps. Here's Poyet. Zola again, just loitering on the left, either for a ball like that to feet, or once or twice he's come in quickly, try and make a run more centrally. And locate a pass. It's designed to cut Villa open. No one really has been cut open so far. Some very good defenders on the Wembley pitch today.
Yeah, a little bit better that from you, Chelsea, those attacks there. Probing, and always prepared to just nick one in behind as well.
And John Gregory has come down to the touchline. Try and maybe make an adjustment here.
Yeah, I always think it shows you a concern of a manager when he leaves his seat in the stand and comes down, particularly first half.
Desai, way. Coming together there between Boateng and Deschamps. It's gone Chelsea's way.
Just made a back, really, just eased him out the play. Strange, isn't it? Free kick, good area. I look at the edge of the penalty box, two players.
Poyet. And he's the player that Chelsea would want, making a run into that sort of position of maximum opportunity, as the coaches like to call it. Started it all off for Chelsea at Hull City. Got a hat-trick in a 6-1 win. Barry. It's the change of pace, really, that should make the difference. Both sides have been by design quite slow in their build-up. Now Chelsea can quicken it with Weah. Wise, well tracked by Boateng. Southgate. Merson needed a call.
Well, the game needs more passages of play like that, Martin.
That's a mistake by Ian Taylor. Zola. Di Matteo. That's the two strikers doing the defending for Villa. And that's Boateng who made an error similar to the one from Ian Taylor a few moments ago. And here's Weah. Only Zola in the penalty area. Andy, just go back to the point you were trying to make about the passage of play previously.
Well, the one that seems that long ago, but we need more when the game breaks up, perhaps more of a disjointed game, just to increase the space that the players have got to play. And at the moment, the tempo of the game is at such a comfortable one that no player on the ball really is having to play under any pressure.
Babayaro. Villa later in the day do need a change of pace in attack. They've got Julian Joachim, who's the only player to score a winning goal for Villa against Chelsea in those last 9 games.
There's definitely an option. Benito Carboni's been very quiet in 40 minutes of this match. Service up to him admittedly hasn't been great. He's not had a great deal of the ball to work with. Barry.
run behind him, and Di Matteo is there.
I can't understand that pass. He plays it straight at Southgate when a ball down the side to Weah's run. Must surely have been the only ball on.
Weah couldn't keep it in. Back header from Dublin. Fine play by Boateng, first with the strength to hold off Wise, and then with the precision with the pass to right, supported by Carbone.
Sucked Desai out the middle.
Merson.
Chance, Mark. That's when Ian Taylor makes a run. It was good play.
He was very frustrated, Taylor.
Well, there's no surprise, because when you can suck Desai out the middle, here comes Desai coming across. Top of the screen, Taylor's gone in. He's in on Babayaro and Deschamps. As the ball's fed back, it must surely be delivered. They wanted another cute pass. It really wasn't on. Taylor, hands go up. Why wasn't it delivered? There it is, telling them. And that's why, you know, when you make good movement like that, you take players out of position, that they did with Desai and Leboeuf, then you should be producing a ball.
Well, if it's going to be a cup final of cute passes, you're going to fancy Chelsea, aren't you?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. But Villa have their strengths, they have their power, and Dublin represents that, but so too does Taylor. He scored here in the League Cup final 4 years ago. Where? Carbone back, trying to take his share of the defensive burden, but he's given away a free kick. We're closing in on half-time. What a blow to the Villa morale it would be if they were to go in at half-time, a goal down. It won't happen quite like that, because Graham Poll has ordered the free kick to be retaken.
It's almost as if Chelsea in the first half have said, right, we've got great players with great individual technique. One of them, sometime in this match, Azola, Weah, is going to produce a piece of skill, fashion a goal, and that's going to be enough.
Well, I think that's what Arsenal thought last Wednesday. Zola takes. Well, they were crowding around Gareth Barry, who thought he was going to be able to head it clear.
There's a bit of a crowd situation near post. Barry just does enough as Desai tries to get on the end of it. Might well have been a corner. Not from where that referee was standing. Possible to see that.
Deschamps got the better of Dublin in the air. Wise. Melchiot's pass might have been aimed for Wise, but it's collected by Deschamps. This is Di Matteo, early cross. Not really tailored to the calibers or the qualities of Gianfranco Zola.
That's a hard call, that. I saw two pretty committed footballers here tussling away. Well, I can't see an awful lot wrong there. They sorted that out between them without any help from the referee.
Supporting Frank Leboeuf, but Leboeuf, who just wanted the ball to run through to the goalkeeper, has ended up here in, at the moment, some discomfort.
That's a knee, isn't it? Just catches him. But he's up pretty sharpish. And then decides it's a bit more painful than that.
Well, down behind that goal is Brian Marwood. Brian, what did you see of that?
Well, I think what happened, Martin, was that Leboeuf, poor judgment initially, which has been unusual for him in this first half, but as you can see now, getting up I think he's made more of it than it actually was. Dion Dublin really just honestly trying to challenge for the ball, and Leboeuf very remonstrating with the referee, but there's not an awful lot wrong there that Dion Dublin did.
The stoppage has given John Gregory the chance to get his message to the players. He's going to be able to do that shortly down in the dressing room as we head towards half-time.
Well, there can't be too much stoppage time, I have to say, Mark. Certainly be surprised if it's more than a couple of minutes.
Well, that's been the first half, very much in keeping with the nature of the two league meetings between Aston Villa and Chelsea in the Premiership season that's just come to a close. It'll be added time 1 minute. Well, aim for Dublin, but Chelsea have done a good job on him so far. We shouldn't forget that. Just as Aston Villa's back three will be pleased with the way they've curbed Weah and Zola. And those menacing runs from Poyet have borne such fruit for Chelsea on their way to the final.
Well, in keeping with an awful lot of finals, it's been tight, tense, and certainly no great goal-mouth action in the first half to speak of. Neither goalkeeper really had to make a save of any note whatsoever. That's been the disappointing thing from my point of view, first half.